Let's talk about the PlayStation Portal possibly getting a hardware refresh, maybe even a pro model. We've got this new post on Twitter from Zuby Tech, who has posted that the PlayStation Portal is to receive a model refresh with an OLED screen and the display could have 120 hertz. Now, with all of these rumours, it's nothing set in stone. It might be complete rubbish. It might be true. However, I do think this is something that Sony would definitely look at. Think about the DualSense controller and then the DualSense Edge. I see this working the same way. We have the PlayStation Portal, then we might get the PlayStation Portal Edge. An OLED screen, heck yeah, that would be amazing. More vibrant colours, deeper blacks. It would help with the battery life because it sips a little bit less power than the LCD screen does, which is on the standard Portal. So you can play your games a little bit longer. Maybe it has an even bigger battery in the device. Also, this 120 hertz refresh, a lot of people were saying, why would that help? Because games are streamed at 60 just now. Sony could up the bit rate and up the capability of their servers and allow streaming at higher frame rates. Nvidia does this just now with their GeForce Now technology. But even if it doesn't, I had seen a video ages ago on YouTube where they discussed this, and the higher refresh panel would still help with like image clarity and ghosting, even if you're playing the game at 60 frames per second. So it would still have a benefit there. This is interesting. I would love this. In particular, they would need to do a few other things. I don't think I would buy it if it just had, say, an OLED screen and 120 hertz on it. They would need to add a few more features, and I think if you just took the Edge controller, the DualSense Edge controller, as the kind of basis for a PlayStation Portal Edge, give us back buttons, give us swappable joystick modules, and maybe bump up the Wi-Fi chip a little bit. Currently it is Wi-Fi 5, bump it up to Wi-Fi 6E or 7. I actually saw a video today about CES. They were talking about Wi-Fi 8. I don't think they'll go that far, but just up it a little bit. So, I mean, this thing, connectivity is king. If you can connect to your Wi-Fi, or when you're out and about, maybe even your mobile phone, use your mobile phone as a hotspot and connect. The better the connection you get, the better the game will stream to this device. That would be huge. Those few things, and then if they price this right, they should be able to avoid all the insane, high prices that gaming has been impacted by in general right now because of this AI boom. You won't need really heavy duty hardware in this, so they could potentially release this $100 more than the standard model. So this one currently is $200, £200, even though it's regularly on sale for a fair bit cheaper. I've seen it go down as low as I think 170. So if they hit that 250, 300 mark, I think a lot of people would pick this up or would even upgrade from their standard Portal. Again, it's a rumor. Take it with a pinch of salt. But I totally could see this happening. This would not surprise me. This could be an interim step, until we get the full fat PlayStation 6 handheld, which is what I think most of us are after. We want to be able to download and play our games locally on the device, offline, without worrying about an internet connection. That is what we want. So, like the Vita 2 or the PSP 2, that is what we're after. However, there is definitely a place in the PlayStation ecosystem for this. The Portal has sold really well. It's a great low cost device for playing your games about your house when your TV's busy and all this kind of stuff. I think a pro version of this or a Edge version would slot into the lineup nicely. You see other companies do it all the time as well, like Apple with their phones and their MacBooks and stuff like that. And let's be honest, Sony is kind of like the Apple of the gaming world. They are like the premium console gaming brand. Xbox is kind of going the Android type route, you could kind of say, because they just want to be everywhere and, all that kind of stuff. Everything is an Xbox after all. So I could see this happening. But the big question is, would you be interested in that? Would you buy that? A lot of you just don't like the Portal and not interested in it at all. Some of you, your internet isn't capable of supporting the Portal, so it's just a no-go for you, and the Pro probably wouldn't hit with that much anyway, unless the Wi-Fi chip is just so much better. And imagine if the bitrate was upped as well, so we could make the picture even sharper. That would be really cool. I'm excited about this. I think this could be cool. I think this rumor has legs. I will be tracking this obviously on the channel and let you all know anything else comes of this. Let me know if you would buy one of these. It was around about $300, £300. Would you pick it up? Would you trade in your Portal? What is the big tech hardware upgrade which you would love to see in a PlayStation Portal Edge Pro, let's call it. Let's go for a wacky name here. So sound off in the comments, and we'll be keeping our eye on this one.